Catherine.
I'm so glad that you came.
I could follow you like a dog to the ends of the earth.
Yes, about that.
What is it?
We can no longer meet like this.
So, you're finally leaving Edgar?
No,
You're leaving me?
I must.
Why?
I need more, Heathcliff.
More?
Yes,
I give you shelter. I feed you. I love you.
I know, and that's what makes this so hard.
No. What can he provide that I cannot? Is he more devout than I?
No,
Then what is it?
I need more.
More.
Yes, I need more than just ramen and Hot Pockets every day.
Oh, so that's it. Greed.
It's not greed.
Then what is it?
It gives me variety, like Domino's and Taco Bell and Long John Silver's.
That's it? Hot Pockets makes pizza flavors.
Yes, I know.
And they have Mexican flavors.
I know.
They even have your precious fish and chips.
I know. Wait, what?
Well, no, but they could.
Oh, Heathcliff,
Catherine, please, don't go.
shh. I'm sorry, but I have to go.
But please, no.
We're trying Jack in the Box tonight.
Hot Pockets. I think I'm gonna die.
And the Oscar goes to Gremlin Lord 615.
Me? Oh my. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You love me. You really love me. But you may not love Wuthering Heights. A passionate and tumultuous love story set against the backdrop of the Yorkshire moors, exploring the intense and destructive relationship between Heathcliff and Catherine Earnshaw.
Rated R.
I know there's some discourse about how the movie differs from the book, but director Emerald Fennell said she developed the script primarily from her memories of reading the book as a teenager. She, quote, wanted to make something that was my response and interpretation to that book and to the feeling of it, instead of a faithful adaptation. For the record, I have never read the novel Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, nor have I seen any of the dozen films or TV shows based on it. This film was my first introduction to it, so this review is going to focus just on that. But feel free to leave me comments down below about how the book and the movie differ, after you like the video, of course. The film opens on a celebration, Hanging Day. I assume this is the day that criminals are hung in public executions. I've never heard of this before, but it appears to be a pretty big festival with families just having fun. There's themed toys and treats for all. In the audience is an ecstatic young Kathy, played by Charlotte Mellington. I'm not sure that she looked too much like her older counterpart, played by Margot Robbie, but their personalities and mannerisms matched really well. When she returns home, we meet her father, played by Martin Clunes, and the rest of the servants in the house. Their family was once rich and powerful, but now that power has waned due to the father's addictions. One day, he brings home a young boy, whom he claims he saved from an abusive father. Kathy is immediately drawn to him, names him Heathcliff, and they grow up together. The boy is played by Owen Cooper. To me, he's a great choice to play young Jacob Elordi. They look quite a bit alike, especially when the camera would switch between them. Kathy and Heathcliff are quite close to each other even through adulthood, but neither confess their feelings. Kathy ends up marrying a rich neighbor, Edgar, played by Shazad Latif, while Heathcliff moves away. Years pass, and Heathcliff returns a rich man, and a torrid romance begins. They are mad at each other for not being true to the other one. They fight, make love, and fight some more. As I said, present-day Kathy is played by Margot Robbie. I think she handles the emotion of the role very well. Some people are just good at crying, and she's one of them. I love how she showed subtle sadness throughout her marriage. Jacob Elordi plays present-day Heathcliff. At 6'5", he towers over everyone, but his character is often hunched over, a result of his abuse that he experienced as a child, always trying to keep a lower profile. I liked Elordi's performance, but at times it felt like he was a bit mumbly with his lines. The crux of Wuthering Heights is the love story between Catherine and Heathcliff. And that's why it's a huge deal that it didn't work for me. From the very beginning, the relationship felt weird. Let's start with the fact that Kathy's father brings home a random boy to live with them. It is mentioned that he has lost a son before, so it's not unreasonable to think that he's trying to replace that. Kathy declares that the boy will be named Heathcliff in honor of her deceased brother. Again, a surrogate. Also, this boy already has a name and identity, which they completely ignore. Kathy calls him a pet, and her father agrees. So the boy, now Heathcliff, has to do whatever Kathy and her father tell him to do. He becomes a servant. He becomes the literal whipping boy. The whole thing feels like a Stockholm Syndrome starter kit. Don't get me wrong, there are scenes of them bonding and taking care of each other, but it's how this friendship started that really irks me. It's basically a case of love me or get beat. Even as they get older, Kathy treats him poorly to hide her true feelings. Heathcliff has developed a deep love for her, but she doesn't hesitate to run off and marry Edgar because he has the wealth that she desires. It's not until Heathcliff leaves that she realizes what she lost. Once he returns, they are super nasty to each other. Both are bitter that the other one moved on without them. Once they confirm that they both still love each other, it's a no-holds-barred romance fest. Literally. If you could think of a place, they did it there. But remember, Kathy is married, and soon Heathcliff is as well. So these constant excursions are all cheating. As someone who's been cheated on, this didn't really fly for me. The idea of cheating because you love someone else so much is just plain dumb. Now, I assume given the time setting of the film, divorce may not have been an option. But why couldn't they just run away? Heathcliff is rich. He could take them far, far away. There's no reason to keep destroying the lives of others to satisfy your own selfishness. And before you start typing that angry comment, I understand that this entire story is a tragedy. The suffering that they are experiencing is the point. They didn't realize their true love until it was too late. I think the story will probably work for some people. The idea of unrequited love is a romance staple, but it's the ownership, pets, and cheating angles that kill it for me. It felt like Heathcliff was groomed to fall in love with Kathy, like he had no other choice. These things made it hard for me to feel sympathy for them. I teared up a few times, mostly for death or abuse situations, but never for them. Even the very tragic ending didn't really move me. It was all sad, but it was avoidable. And again, I know that's the whole point of the drama. The opposite was true of the visuals. I was completely enamored with them. From start to finish, Wuthering Heights was visually engaging. First off, the costuming was amazing. The collection of dresses that Kathy wears is expansive. They range from homemade and traditional to designer and avant-garde. There are some dresses that use materials that don't fit into this time period, but remember, this is the director's vision and not a true period piece. The men's suits are also super tailored and snazzy. Everyone's clothes fit their personalities. This was especially true of Edgar's sister, Isabella, played by Alison Oliver. She's this sheltered, nerdy character who is desperate to break out of her shell. She makes hair dolls and is obsessed with ribbons. Her often gingham dresses were modest and decorated with ribbons. I really liked her character. She ended up being one of the most unhinged people in the film. She kept me on my toes. Accompanying these great costumes were rich sets. Let's start with Kathy's original homestead, Wuthering Heights. It's obvious that the home's grandeur has faded in the recent decades. There's a large crack in the facade. It's built directly into the mountainside, with natural rocks protruding into some rooms. There's a large tiled archway. It's dark. It's moody. It stands in stark contrast to Thrushcross Grange, Edgar's home. This location is more like an elaborate dollhouse mansion. It's a technicolor explosion. Each room has its own personality and color palette. There were strange decorations like goldfish and clear flower pots, and a fireplace completely encased in plaster hand sculptures. But one of the weirdest things was Kathy's room. Edgar had it painted the most beautiful color in the world, which was the color of Kathy's skin. It has a pinkish flesh color, complete with birthmarks and the faint outlines of veins. The walls were also paneled with a fabric that had some give, like real skin. It was really trippy. I would have loved to walk around that set. But it's not just the man-made sets that were impressive. The film uses the natural world really well. We see meadows, moors, forests, and rocky terrain. There's also this omnipresent fog. I was glued to the screen, but just to see where the characters were going. I think all of this perfectly captures Emerald Fennell's vision of the fever dream that a teenager would experience when they first read this novel. It shows what an unhinged fantasy it can become. The other big advertised draw for the film was the inclusion of new music by Charlie XCX. I only have a vague idea of who she is due to social media trends. But while watching the movie, most of the music felt pretty traditional. There wasn't as much of a pop dance influence as I was expecting. I thought it would be similar to the 2013 film The Great Gatsby, which had a very contemporary soundtrack. Fans hoping to jam out in the theater may leave disappointed. And that's how I felt about Wuthering Heights. Disappointed. I understand the director's vision for the movie. It's her own interpretation of the novel from when she was a teenager. It's super stylized. But I found the love story and the chemistry to be lacking. It felt like there was a lack of passion throughout, even with all the romance scenes. But the stark visuals kept me interested. And that is why I'm giving Wuthering Heights the failed relationship score of 5 out of 10. The passion was just too generic. The Stockholm Syndrome romance rubbed me the wrong way. I stayed for the visuals.
But what about you? Will you return to Wuthering Heights for one final fling? Go ahead and leave me a comment down in the stables below. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more deep, throbbing content just like this. I'll see you in the hay.